Hey everyone, I've just been doing a Q&A for a VMware vForum session on Multicloud and I wanted to share some of my thoughts on Multicloud specifically and how it fits in with building a cloud operating model. So this topic also came up in the latest episode of the Cloud Technologist Show, which is a podcast that I produce with my team. So I thought it was good timing to try and bring the two together. So why do we bother with a cloud operating model at all? What's the point? But most importantly, where's the value for the business, right? Because as we know, technology is at the center of every business's plans, in today's age. If you look at pharmaceuticals right now, there was a lot of artificial intelligence and machine learning leveraged to develop the COVID vaccines. And it's impossible without innovative and complex technology to do that. In finance, it's gone way beyond banking customers just wanting an up-to-date fancy smartphone app, right? Some customers are actually starting to move some of their capital into digital currencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Some definite winners and losers in that situation right now. In retail, just look at Amazon and their massive use of AI and intelligent robotics for their warehouses. Businesses are finding more and more opportunities to leverage the latest and greatest technology to really push them forward in the marketplace. And because of these really demanding business requirements, IT services have become much more complex than they ever were, right? We're leveraging native cloud services more than ever. If you think about this marketplace of software and data that's just available to use and customize for your business without having to start from scratch, there's massive value in adopting those. And those services, those cloud services, are available across many different clouds. And there are different technologies specific to each. For example, for functions as a service, if you specifically wanted Lambda, you go to AWS. If you wanted BigQuery, you go to Google, for example. And business and commercial decisions also drive the consumption of different clouds too. Who do we have a relationship with? Who's going to give us the best deal? Things like that. And all of this complexity has really led to multi-cloud being the platform of choice or the overarching platform of choice for many businesses. And to get there are really three important IT strategies that we see. And so one of them is application transformation. Another is, having a cloud strategy. And the third one is really having this cloud operating model to bring them together. So first, if we look at the application strategy, right? So applications will need to be migrated to the cloud or modernized to take advantage of clouds, potentially replaced by a cloud service or, any of the other 5 R's that many people in the industry talk about. Basically, it's about doing the right thing for each business serving application. Then we have the cloud strategy, and different business and commercial requirements, will drive this, right? Cost, speed, risk, often those are things that help drive the cloud strategy. And each cloud is going to provide different value. But not just that, but the value of that cloud will likely change over time because new cloud services are being developed and things move forward. So as you can imagine, having a cloud strategy and an application strategy without having some sort of model to operate in this new business technology model can be a real major challenge. It needs a plan or a model at a higher level than just the features and functions that the model needs to account for. Things like people or the organization, processes and technology changes required to really effectively evolve an organization into this space. There's a few ways of going about building a cloud operating model. So, for example, consulting services, you'll see, will focus heavily on the people and process side. And that can be, potentially a big engagement, depending on the size of the business. Organizational structures are revisited as part of this. New roles will be required and accountable in this new role, in this new world. Things like, the introduction of DevOps teams are a great start as well. Governance, operational processes, and KPIs also need to be understood and accounted for as part of this. And then you'll need the technology available to support those new initiatives too. And so that's one way, leading with people and process. The other way to do it is to lead with the technology, which, as we do at VMware, and that's our strength, right? So multi-cloud automation software, to start with, will help to increase the speed and the agility across this new multi-cloud surface that you're building with guardrails to keep things secure and compliant. Technology like this tends to lead to new operational ways of working then, with DevOps teams being born out of the increased automation, for example, and new processes being created from policy, which can then be applied up front in that software. Then we have multi-cloud operational tools that can continually optimize the efficiency and performance of the cloud service. And bringing in software like this often births SRE type roles and ways of working. And then it's also important to look at the multi-cloud financial management tools too, to keep costs optimized and most importantly, predictable. And then as you start to bring in this aspect of multi-cloud financial management, you'll inevitably start building a cloud center of excellence as this higher order of control and management over the consumption of clouds. So bringing together your clouds and applying a multi-cloud operating model in this way can actually give some pretty staggering and pretty tangible benefits too. You'll see hours saved in provisioning and managing infrastructure and cloud services. Staff can then start focusing on, more innovation rather than just feeding and watering the platform. You'll see reduced risk with dramatic reductions in unplanned downtime and mean time to resolution because you're looking at the surface as a whole. And then when you optimize the cloud service like this, you can also expect a reduction in software licenses, servers, storage, and cloud costs because you're not paying for what you don't actually use because you can see it all and you can manage it all. But however you go through this, I hope you'll see that thinking about building a cloud operating model is an essential part of any cloud and application strategy. I actually made an infographic that I shared on my blog, which I'll share as part of the notes for this. But feel free to reach out on Twitter or LinkedIn and tell me what you think. Okay, thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.